What's going on, guys? It's Kodi. Today I'm going to be going over my Stamina DK build, which I recently just created. I've been Magicka DK from the last several patches, and I decided to just try out Stam. So this is not permanently, this is just a temporary thing to try out until the new patch comes. So I'm going to first jump into my armor. My armor is very similar to my Nightblade. The only thing I changed was I run a sword and shield instead of dual wield. So I run 1 Molag Kena, 1 Bloodspawn, 5 Hundings on my sword and shield bar, 4 on the 2-hand, mainly because I don't have a lot of DPS skills on my 2-hand, 3 agility, and 2 air pieces. So the race for this, I am a Dark Elf because, like I said, I was a Magicka DK and that was the best race at one point. Dark Elf is most likely not the best race because of the passives. So I'd recommend Red Guard, Wood Elf, or any type of Stam race that contributes to like stamina recovery, max stam, things like that. I know for a fact that Red Guard, Wood Elf, or Imperial would go great for a Stam DK. I have 2 arcane rings, sadly. 2 agility rings of arcane. Doesn't really matter though. And 1 robust, 3 weapon damage on all 3. For the traits on the armor, I would go divines on the small, infused on the big, or all divines would work as well. I have infused on the boots. You can get 2 air pieces of divines. I just had an empty slot here, so I just said fuck it. Divines on the shield, Sharpened on the weapons. I put defending on my 2-hand because it's my buff bar. And that is pretty much it for the armor. I have stamina glyphs, weapon damage glyphs. I have Magicka on my Molag Kena because I use it on my sword, but it's no big deal. If you main a Stam DK, of course you got stamina glyph. My attribute points, I have 30 into health, 34 into stamina, which sets me at 20k health. You at least want 20k health when you're in Cyrodiil. 24.4k, 24k max stamina on my sword and shield, 23k on my 2-hand. My max Magicka is almost 14k. I have almost 2300 stamina recovery and 3.1k about unbuffed weapon damage and 41% weapon crit. Buff though, I'm at 3.6k about on my sword and shield and 3.2k about on my 2-hand. With a pot up, these are my regens. They're pretty solid. I'm thinking about going werewolf on my back bar, which would contribute to my stamina recovery. Gains like 15%, I believe. So you should be sitting at like 27 or 28k. 2700, 2800 I mean, stamina recovery if you did run werewolf on your back bar. So this is my overview of my stats. I'm running the Serpent stone for my Mundus, and I'm running the V15 blue drink, which gives about 500 Magicka and stamina recovery. I think that is the best because I do use some Magicka abilities. Most of the, as you know or don't know, Earth and Heart abilities give you 5% stamina when you activate it. So if I'm ever running out of stamina, I do spam Igneous if I do have a Magicka for it. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to be going over my CP next. I have 629 CP, but in the next patch, the 501 is going to be the cap, so I did scale my CP down just because I just want to play like that for now, and because the next patch is going to make me play like that. But it's no biggie. So I have 10 into Magician, which gives me 4%. This is because I use the Magicka abilities, and I want that to be reduced by a little bit. I have 46 in the Warlord. For obvious reasons, I have 100 into Mooncalf, and 11 into Tumbling. 30 into Bless, which is going to boost my healing. 18 into Precise Strikes and Piercing, which is the amount of armor you ignore with your physical attacks and your crits. And I have 100 into Mighty. And this is going to be the tree, which is most important, which is the Lady, mainly because it's Unchained. I'm going to go into this later, but I go 11 into Thick Skin, 10 into Elemental Defender, and 100 into Hardy, and 46 into Quick Recovery, which is going to also contribute to my healing. So Unchained is the 120 passive. You need 120 points in order to get this, and as you see, it says reduces the stamina cost of abilities by 80% for 3 seconds after breaking CC. So this is very important if you use high stamina costing skills. Some of these skills would be caltrops or speed. As you see, they cost about 5k each. Reducing them down to 80% after CC breaking is major. You're going to want to put those skills down if you have them on your bar right away after you get a CC break, because they'll simply cost like nothing at all. They'll cost around like 1k or so, which is really good. So keep that in mind. If you do have that CP passive, you're definitely going to want to cast these two skills after you CC break. And that is pretty much it for CP. I scaled it down to 5-1 like I said. So let's now jump into the skills. For my sword and shield bar, I am running Unstable Flame, which is one of my dots for damage, Heroic Slash, Invasion, Defensive Stance, and Fossilize. If you don't want to use Fossilize, a lot of people like using Reverberating Bash. This skill is a little buggy at the moment. You can spam it up to 3 times, so I try to avoid doing that. But this is a very good option. You don't need to use Fossilize. I was recently dueling, and sometimes Fossilize is a better choice in duels, but Reverberating Bash is really good because it stuns them and also gives them Major Defile, which reduces their healing. So this is my setup. This is really good too. I use this instead of Puncture because I use Burning Breath, which reduces physical resist, and there would be no point of running Ransack because they both do the same thing. They both afflict the enemy with Major Fracture. So I decided to go Heroic Slash instead, which reduces their minor maim, which is their damage, by 15%. So Invasion's my gap closer, my CC, and when I'm close range, of course, you're going to use Reverberating Bash for your stun. And I use Flawless Dawnbreaker to boost my weapon damage. And that is about it for this bar. You could use Leap on this bar or Flawless Dawnbreaker, it's up to you. I use this simply because I would Reverberating Bash, switch my weapons, and go into a Take Flight. This just boosts my overall DPS on this bar. So for my 2-hand, I'm running Rally, of course, which is your weapon damage buff, and a heal. Burning Breath, Shuffle, which is your mischance. Igneous Shield for increased healing and a damage shield. And Resolving Vigor, which is obviously your main heal on a stamina build. And also Take Flight, like I said. So if I was going to go Werewolf, like I said earlier, I'd put Werewolf on this bar and Take Flight on the opposite on this bar. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you grab all your passes. They're really helpful. And that is about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments or concerns, I want you to throw them down in the comment section below. And that's been Kodi. I'll see you guys later. One more quick tip when playing with the Stam DK build, as you may or may not know, the first thing you're going to want to do when you're starting a fight is start off with your Burning Breath, because it reduces your physical resist. So you're going to be doing overall more damage because their armor is reduced, and also you want to get that dot in since it's on your off bar, and you want to be on your main DPS bar when you're focusing the opponent. So you're going to want to make sure you buff up, make sure your rally's up, make sure your shuffle's up, Igneous, and Vigor before you go into the fight. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you can either gap closer or just go in regularly. So like I said, you're going to want to do Burning Breath, Unstable, and then you're going to want to animation cancel your light attack and Heroic Slash. This is simply done by doing light attack, this skill, and then bashing right afterwards. I'll do it really slow right here. Light attack, Heroic Slash, and then a bash. Light attack, Heroic Slash, and then a bash. And if you do it fast enough, it's really effective. As you see, you can really DPS down opponent. Lefty Lucy goes over an animation guide. If you guys want to check him out, I'll link that in the description below if you guys want to learn how to animation cancel. But that's pretty much it, guys. It's just a quick little tip of how to improve your DPS on a Stam build. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.